A few years ago, I made a huge mistake. I thought my comfort zone was safe, so I stayed there. I was afraid to try new things, afraid to take risks, afraid of what people might say. And because of that mindset, I lost 2 of the most valuable years of my life. Then one day, I came across a book by Kristen Butler, The Comfort Zone, and it completely changed how I looked at my life. There was one line in the book that shook me. Comfort may feel safe, but growth lives outside it. Think about it. When Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam left his small village to enter the world of space science. When MS Dhoni left his government job to pursue cricket full-time. Or when Dr. Vivek Bindra lost everything, but still rose to inspire millions. Do you think any of them cared about staying in their comfort zone? Now ask yourself. Are you stuck in that same zone too? Where there's no fear of failure, but also no hope of winning? Are you just alive, or actually living? Because the comfort zone isn't just a book. It's a mirror. And it shows you the truth you've been avoiding for years. So the real question isn't whether your comfort zone is good or bad. The real question is, are you ready to leave the just fine life, for a life that could be extraordinary? In today's video, I'm going to share 8 life-changing insights from Kristen Butler's best-selling book, The Comfort Zone. And no, these aren't just theories. They're practical, emotional, and deeply personal ideas that can completely shift the way you think and live. Here's what's coming. Secret number 1, a hidden mindset you follow every day that feels productive but is quietly leading you straight to burnout. Secret number 2, the subtle guilt that stops you from resting and how breaking free from it might be the key to your real growth. Secret number 3, why you don't need to break out of your comfort zone, you just need to learn how to design it the right way. Secret number 4, a dangerous pattern that makes you feel busy all the time while slowly draining you from the inside. Secret number 5, how the world's most successful people use intentional rest as a strategy and why most of us never do. Secret number 6, one microscopic habit that brings clarity and peace to your mind even though it feels way too small to matter. Secret number 7, the invisible energy sucker that's draining you every single day and a simple way to protect yourself from it. And yes, there's a bonus topic too. A powerful mindset flip that can transform your comfort zone from your biggest weakness into your greatest strength. Let me just say this. If you understand this, you won't have to hustle harder, you'll start winning with balance. You're watching Book Echo, where we don't just read books. We live the books that have transformed millions of lives. Here, we bring you summaries of the books that form the backbone of success for legends like Elon Musk, Oprah Winfrey, and Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Every video is like a new turning point. And who knows? Maybe this one will be the turning point in your life too. So if you're ready to awaken a new mindset within yourself, make sure to subscribe right now. Because the next video might just hold the answer you've been searching for all along. Now let's dive in and truly understand. What exactly is the comfort zone? Secret 1. Always being busy equal to being productive, the biggest lie behind burnout. Think about this. You wake up and the first thing you do is check your phone. Then you start your to-do list, emails, meetings, calls, errands. Your entire day is packed with multitasking and deadlines. And by the time you collapse into bed at night, there's just one thought in your head. I'm exhausted, but what did I even accomplish? Ever felt like that? Kristen Butler calls this mental trap false productivity conditioning. From childhood, school, and even society, we're told, if you're not constantly doing something, you're falling behind. But the truth is, being busy and being productive are 2 very different things. Imagine 2 people. The first one works non-stop for 10 hours straight. The second works for just 4 hours, but with full focus and clear goals. By evening, both are tired. But one is left with just exhaustion, while the other actually made progress. Now ask yourself, which one are you becoming? The reality no one talks about. Have you ever noticed how so many people burn out? Even though they're working hard all the time? That's because their brain is always stuck in doing mode and never enters being mode. Doing mode equals constant action with no self-awareness. Being mode equals conscious, intentional action aligned with your purpose. Kristen Butler explains it like this. If you're disconnected from your inner voice, your busyness is just a distraction, not your destination. Take Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, for instance. He used to work 14 to 18 hours a day. But every hour had a clear mission. He wasn't just moving, he was moving with meaning. His focus was on the mission, not just motion. And that right there is the line that separates true productivity from burnout. So the next time you hear yourself say, "I'm just really busy," pause for a moment and ask, am I actually working with purpose, or just staying busy to feel in control? It's not about how much you do. It's about doing the right things. Because hustle might make you look strong from the outside, but it could be draining you silently from within. In the next secret, we'll uncover a hidden guilt that makes you feel ashamed to even take a break, and how breaking free from it could be the most powerful step in your personal growth. Secret 2. That subtle guilt that stops you from resting, and how overcoming it is the key to your real growth. Have you ever felt this? You sit down on the couch for just 10 minutes. Or maybe you want to just lie in silence and breathe for a while. And suddenly, out of nowhere, you feel this strange guilt creeping in? That inner voice starts whispering, "Why aren't you doing something? Stop wasting time, look how far ahead everyone else is." This, right here, is what Kristen Butler calls rest guilt. The shame we feel, just for trying to take a break. But where does this come from? Kristen explains that from childhood, we've been conditioned to believe work equal to worth, rest equal to laziness. That's why every time we pause, even for a moment, we feel like we're doing something wrong. Like we're being irresponsible. But ask yourself honestly, are you a machine or a human being? Even your phone needs to be recharged every day, don't you? You've worked hard for 5 straight days. Now, you finally plan to take one day to relax. But your brain kicks in immediately. Everyone on LinkedIn is crushing it. That guy just finished his work on a Sunday. And here I am, doing nothing. But here's the truth. This battle isn't happening outside, it's all happening within you. What does Kristen Butler say? Rest is not a reward. It's a requirement. We keep telling ourselves, I'll rest when the work is done. Once everything is perfect, then I'll slow down. But the truth is, if you don't recharge yourself regularly, even your best efforts will slowly fall apart. Look at MS Dhoni, calm on the field, sharpen the mind. He knew exactly when to move and when to pause. Every decision was thoughtful. Every match had moments of mental reset, not just physical rest. That's the real secret behind his legendary consistency. Resting isn't laziness, it's the foundation of clarity, creativity, and consistency. And the day you learn to rest without guilt is the day your hustle starts turning into meaningful growth. The people who learn to rest guilt-free are the ones who actually win in the long run. In the next secret, we'll talk about this powerful idea. You don't need to break your comfort zone. You need to redesign it. Because what you think is holding you back could actually become your greatest strength. Secret 3. You don't need to break your comfort zone, you need to design it the right way. What have we always been told? We've all grown up hearing, success only happens outside your comfort zone. If you want to achieve something big, you have to leave comfort behind. And so, we've chased that mindset blindly. Every time we found peace or stillness, we felt guilty. We thought, if I slow down, maybe I'll fall behind. And here's the biggest mistake we make. We treat comfort like a weakness. But Kristen Butler says, Comfort isn't the enemy of growth. It's the foundation of it. Let that sink in. So what's the real difference? There are two types of comfort zones. 1. Passive comfort zone, where you avoid challenges just to escape discomfort. You numb yourself with distractions, delay action, and settle in fear. 2. Empowered comfort zone, a space you intentionally create, where you pause to reflect, recharge, gain clarity, and prepare for bold, focused action. Kristen says, that's the comfort zone you need. An intentional safe space where you can reconnect with yourself. Think about it. When your mind is at peace, your thoughts become sharper. You act from clarity, not panic. You're not reactive, you're creative. That's what empowered comfort feels like. Kristen Butler puts it this way: when you're not at war with yourself, you finally have the energy to grow. In other words, true transformation begins the moment you stop fighting your own nature. Think about practices like Vipassana meditation, yoga, Ayurvedic lifestyle routines. All of these are ancient tools of empowered comfort, used for centuries to master the self, not escape it. Don't break your comfort zone, redefine it. Create a space where you can recharge, reflect, and grow with clarity. That's not weakness, that's wisdom. In the next secret, we'll talk about a hidden pattern that makes you look constantly busy, but is actually draining you from the inside out. Secret 4. A hidden pattern that keeps you looking busy all the time, but is silently draining you from the inside. Let's be honest. Have you ever had one of those days where you're constantly doing something? Answering emails, checking messages, bouncing between meetings, tasks, and endless scrolling. But by the end of the day, you're left thinking, did I actually do anything meaningful today? If yes, then you might be caught in what Kristen Butler calls the busyness pattern. A trap that's consuming so many of us today, quietly, but completely. So how does this pattern work? It tells you sitting still is a waste of time. You better stay busy or you'll fall behind. People will only respect you if you're always in action. And because of that mindset, we stay visibly engaged all day long. But inside, we feel completely disconnected from ourselves. Kristen Butler puts it this way: just because you're always doing something doesn't mean you're moving forward. In other words, being in motion isn't the same as making progress. Here's the real danger. Sometimes, we're not working because the task is necessary. We're just trying to look busy. Why? Because being busy has become a status symbol. We've started believing, if I'm exhausted, it means I'm working hard. If I take a break, maybe I'm not serious enough. But that belief? It's quietly draining your mental energy every single day. And this mindset runs deep even in cultures like India. He's always working, never takes a break. That guy never stops. He must be really successful. We've literally equated being tired with being worthy. Now pause and ask yourself, do you stay active all day but still feel mentally tired? Do you feel guilty when you take a break? Do you try to fill every quiet moment with something just to stay distracted? If yes, then maybe it's time to break this pattern. Action only becomes valuable when it's taken with awareness. Otherwise, you're just spinning on a hamster wheel, running fast but going nowhere. Being busy doesn't always mean you're being productive. Sometimes, the quiet moments are where your real clarity begins. True intelligence isn't just in action. It's in knowing when to pause. In the next secret, we'll talk about a forgotten ritual. One that many of the world's most successful people still follow today. And how it can bring both peace and discipline into your life. Secret 5. How the world's most successful people use intentional rest and why most of us never do. First, let's ask, what exactly is intentional rest? It's not lying in bed for hours mindlessly scrolling your phone. It's not binge watching Netflix while secretly feeling guilty. Intentional rest means taking a conscious, meaningful break. One that recharges your mind, body, and soul. A moment where you reconnect with yourself in complete stillness. Now think about this. When you're tired, do you actually give yourself permission to pause? Or do you push through and drown yourself in more work? Most of us don't stop until we completely break down. And that's exactly why burnout sneaks in quietly. Because we never learned that. Rest isn't a reward, it's part of the work. As Kristen Butler says, you don't grow by pushing harder. You grow by knowing when to pause. Let that line settle in. Growth doesn't happen by force. It happens when you respect your rhythm. Let's talk about some real-life examples of people who take rest seriously. Bill Gates. He takes an annual Think Week. Goes off-grid into nature, no phone, just books and silence. Narendra Modi. Despite his schedule, he practices yoga and meditation every day, full focus, no compromise. Deepika Padukone. Openly advocates for mental health, and prioritizes me time as a non-negotiable part of her routine. These people understand one simple truth. Rest isn't a luxury. It's a requirement for high performance. So why don't we take intentional rest? Because we feel guilty. Because we're scared of missing out. Because we were taught that resting equal to laziness. But the truth is, if you don't learn to pause at the right time, your body will force you to through illness, stress, or burnout. Intentional rest equal to a strategic pause. It's not slowing you down. It's laying the foundation for your next big leap. In the next secret, we'll talk about a tiny daily habit that may seem small, but has the power to completely transform your focus and mental clarity. Secret 6. A microscopic habit that brings calm and clarity to your mind even though it looks incredibly small. Think about this. What's the very first thing you do when you wake up? Phone? Notifications? Or straight into the rush of your daily grind? From the moment our day begins, our minds get filled with external noise. But sometimes, the most important voice is the one that comes from inside. Kristen Butler shares something powerful here. The first step to clarity, focus, and energy is just 5 minutes of daily stillness. So what is this microscopic habit? Here's the surprising part. You don't do anything. Yes, really. Do nothing. Just sit in silence for 5 minutes. No phone. No books. No planning. Just breathe and observe your mind. This is what Kristen calls intentional stillness. A brief pause that detoxes your brain from all the background noise. As Kristen says, stillness is where the noise ends and your real voice begins. It's in silence that your thoughts become your own again. This habit has existed for centuries. Meditation. Vows of silence. Prayer in solitude. But somewhere along the way, we started calling it a waste of time. The truth is, this tiny habit clears away the internal clutter and creates space for razor-sharp thinking. Try this simple test. Tomorrow morning, right after waking up, just sit in silence for 5 minutes. No agenda. No apps. No noise. You'll notice your mind starting to clear on its own. Ideas become sharper, thoughts feel lighter. And everything starts to feel just a little more in your control. That's the power of intentional stillness. 5 minutes of stillness equals 5 times more mental clarity. This habit may look small, but its impact runs deep. In the next secret, we'll uncover the silent energy drain that most of us have accepted as normal, but is actually holding us back more than we realize. Secret 7. The invisible thing silently draining your energy and a simple way to protect yourself from it. Let's start with a question. Have you ever felt completely drained? Even though you didn't do anything physically demanding that day? No intense task. No major responsibility. Yet your mind feels heavy, your body tired, and your mood low? If yes, then the problem might not be your activity. It could be your energy leaks. So what's an energy leak? Kristen Butler calls it invisible emotional drain. These are the small, often unnoticed things that slowly eat away at your mental energy, even though they don't physically tire you. Here are a few common culprits. Constantly trying to please others. Comparing yourself to everyone. Overthinking every little thing. Toxic conversations. Mindless scrolling. Staying connected to people who feed your guilt or fear. All of these are like invisible chains, silently draining your inner battery without you realizing it. Kristen puts it powerfully. Your peace is too expensive to be spent on things that don't matter. In other words, your inner calm is priceless. Don't waste it on people or distractions that aren't worth it. So how do you stop these leaks? You build energy boundaries. Simple habits with powerful results. No reply is a reply. You don't have to respond to every message. Protect your mornings. Don't start your day with noise, start it with clarity. Learn to say no. Not every meeting, call, or favor needs your time. Daily digital detox. Give your brain space by stepping away from screens even for 30 minutes. We carry guilt like, what will people think if I say no? They'll be upset with me. It's fine, I'll just do it. But that one little "it's fine" is what's quietly stealing half your energy every day. Understand your energy leaks and protect your peace. Being available for everything isn't noble. It's self-neglect. And now, it's finally time for the bonus secret. The one we teased right at the beginning. A powerful mindset shift that can turn your comfort zone from your biggest weakness into your greatest strength. We've now reached the most important part of this video. The moment you've been waiting for since the very beginning. And if you're still here, that already puts you ahead of the 90% of people who never dare to reflect this deeply on their own thinking. Now it's time for the bonus secret. A mindset shift so powerful, it might flip your entire perspective from the inside out. Bonus secret. How to turn your comfort zone from a weakness into your greatest strength. Let's step back. What have we learned so far? We've always been told, if you want to grow, you have to leave your comfort zone. And we kept chasing that belief. Pushing ourselves. Forcing progress. Until we ended up in burnout, anxiety, and self-doubt. But Kristen Butler offers a new way to think. You don't need to escape your comfort zone. You need to evolve inside it. So let's flip the mindset. Old mindset. Comfort zone equal to fear, weakness, laziness. If I rest, I must not be serious. Growth equal to discomfort, hustle, sacrifice. New mindset. Comfort zone equal to my source of energy. If I feel stable, I'm strong. Growth equal to awareness plus alignment plus action. Kristen puts it perfectly. Your comfort zone is not your cage. It's your custom-designed training ground. In other words, your comfort zone isn't something to run from. It's the place where you quietly prepare yourself with depth and intention. So how do you design your comfort zone? Create a supportive environment. Set up a peaceful corner at home, no distractions, just space to think, reflect, and grow. Bring awareness into your rest. Rest is okay, but rest consciously. Know why you're pausing and what you're preparing for. Build micro routines that boost growth. Like 10 minutes of journaling each morning. One screen-free day each week. Or a deep thinking day once a month. Practice self-compassion. Talking to yourself kindly, reflecting inward. That's not weakness. That's the beginning of clarity. Just imagine this. If your comfort zone could be the place where you gain energy, focus, and peace, then why keep chasing chaos outside? Make your comfort zone your base camp. Build strength there, so you can face the world with clarity and calm. Your comfort zone should be the place where you recharge, gather strength, and prepare to face the world. Not from fear, but from inner power. Redesign your comfort zone, so it's no longer your weakness. It becomes your superpower. And now, let's move to a quick recap of everything we've learned. And a simple challenge that could start real change in your life today. Secret 1: looking busy isn't the same as being productive. We run all day, finish tasks, stay in motion, but still feel empty. Why? Because we're taking action, but without direction. It's not the quantity of work that matters, it's the clarity and quality behind it. If you're always tired but not creating results, maybe it's time to rethink your approach. Secret 2: you shouldn't feel guilty for resting. We often feel like we're doing something wrong when we take a pause. But that guilt? It leads to burnout. Rest isn't a luxury, it's the recharge your mind and body need to go the distance. Real growth happens when you learn to rest without guilt. Secret 3: don't break your comfort zone, build it better. We've always been told, step outside your comfort zone to grow. But in reality, you can turn your comfort zone into a launchpad, not a prison. If you design it intentionally, it can become your source of stability and strength. Secret 4: the habit of staying busy might be silently draining you. Constant doing, endless screen time, non-stop activity, it's the modern trap. You seem active on the outside, but inside, you're exhausted. Sometimes we keep doing things just to feel useful. That pattern only breaks when you ask, am I actually moving forward or just spinning in place? Secret 5: intentional rest is a success superpower. High performers don't just work hard, they know when to pause. Their rest is intentional and strategic, it resets their focus. We need to learn this too. Rest isn't weakness, it's a winning strategy. It's not the opposite of success. It's a tool for it. Secret 6: 5 minutes of silence can unlock mental clarity. At the beginning or end of your day, spend just 5 quiet minutes alone. No apps, no tools, just your breath and your thoughts. Stillness connects you to your real self. This tiny habit can strengthen every other habit you have. Secret 7: understand your energy leaks and protect yourself. Your energy is being drained by things you don't even notice. Overthinking, toxic people, always saying yes, endless comparisons. Being available for everything isn't noble, it's self-neglect. Setting boundaries isn't selfish, it's self-care. When you protect your energy, you can invest it where it truly matters. Now, here's a simple challenge. Pick just one of these 8 ideas and take one small step today. Watch how your comfort zone stops holding you back and starts pushing you forward. Drop a comment, I'm rebuilding my comfort zone, so the world knows you're ready to grow safely, intentionally, and without guilt. Now think about it, if one book made you reflect this deeply. Imagine what the next one could do. In the next video, we're diving into a story that doesn't just teach life lessons. It teaches you how to face life's toughest decisions through the art of risk. The book is called The Art of Risk. And the author? Dr. Richard Harris, the man who risked his own life to help rescue 13 children trapped inside a flooded cave in Thailand. Is taking risks a reckless move or a refined art? Is bravery about eliminating fear or walking with it? If you've ever felt stuck in your comfort zone, if you've ever held back from a big decision out of fear, this next video could change your life. Now it's action time. If you've made it this far in the video, you're clearly serious about improving your life. So don't stop the journey here. Hit that like button. Subscribe to stay on this growth path. And ring that bell so you never miss an episode. And drop a comment right now. I'm ready to take the right risks, so we know who's truly ready to level up. This is Book Echo, where we don't just read books, we read life. See you in the next video, where we'll learn what it really means to move beyond fear and into courage.